we have to pay a lot of attention to the idea of blockchain and cryptocurrency. And I knew something about it before we started the series, but I know a whole lot more about it now. And it's because of people like my next guest, Ali El Husseini, who is a Ph.D. and a brilliant man, that I've come to understand the deep implications of this. During the course of my conversations with him, he talked about how blockchain was going to change, especially people in the third world, that they can start to get title to property that maybe generations of their families have been living on, and how it can liberate people. The implications of this are extraordinary. And I'm excited to tell you that he's just sent us pictures subsequent to his interview of him in Zambia. And in Zambia, he is literally showing people dancing around with pieces of paper, showing their title. It's changing the world. You need to understand blockchain. You need to understand cryptocurrency. And this is one interview that's going to help you do that. Enjoy my interview with Ali El Husseini. Ali, thanks so much for taking time today. This is the conversation a lot of people have been wondering about. Blockchain, what is it? Cryptocurrency, what does it mean? How should I be thinking about that? It's one of the most, engaging conversations, and maybe one of the most confusing conversations. So I'm really excited that you're here to straighten us out.
So, Patrick, first off, thank you so much for having me. My background is I'm Lebanese, so I grew up in Lebanon. And when I was growing up in Lebanon, a gentleman named Patrick Byrne from the U.S. used to come and visit us often in the end of the towards the end of the Civil War, early 90s, and kept interacting with him. Went to school in Germany, then came back to Lebanon, didn't like it. Ended up going to Paris, didn't like it as well. And then Patrick was like, why don't you come go to school in the US and come and work for us at Overstock? I just started this new company, this and that. So I applied a bunch of universities, ended up coming to Utah because I could intern at Overstock and go to school. I ended up coming to University of Utah and started working at the warehouse, making $7 an hour at Overstock, picking packages, and then realizing, there's this whole e-commerce business, and it was early 2000s, 2004, so everybody was into, the boom and the bust of the e-commerce businesses. And from there, I kept working with Patrick closer and closer, and I worked on projects helping artisans around the world called Worldstock, and then ended up running Overstock's global business as a VP there. And then I left and I worked on a DeSoto project with Hernando DeSoto and Patrick Byrne it's applying blockchain. And then I got involved with previously with a few other projects. As you know, Overstock was the first company to accept Bitcoin.
Right.
And everybody's like, Patrick is crazy. Bitcoin, what's Bitcoin? Who cares about Bitcoin? And it was never about Bitcoin. It was all about that technology called blockchain. Mm-hmm. It's just like how the internet came and everybody's like, oh, who cares about the internet? I have, and then the Palm was everyone using the Palm, and then people were using computers, and then people were using their tablets and then their phones, and the technology keeps changing. And
right.
Blockchain is here not to go away. It's here to change our world.
So if you're taking somebody who's heard the term blockchain, but doesn't quite understand it, how do you explain blockchain?
Well, it's two words, right? It's block and chain. So basically, you have to think of it as a database. Mm-hmm. Anything you do, you interact. You and I today, mm-hmm. we're sitting in this room. If you have money in the bank keeps a ledger for you of your money. Mm-hmm. And that ledger is a private ledger that the bank has. Yet you can go on your computer and I can go on your profile, and Facebook has all your information. Mm-hmm. You signed up for free, so Facebook is selling your information.
Right.
So we don't trust each other. What do we trust? We trust these institutions that hold these databases on our behalf or hold these keys for us. Mm-hmm. And what they do is they are the intermediaries. What blockchain does, it disrupts everything because it decentralizes the information and it encrypts it. Mm-hmm. So instead of having one server that has all the information, imagine all the information in this world is spread on hundreds and thousands and millions of computers. Mm-hmm. And everybody has a key, an encrypted key that holds that information. Mm-hmm. And you have your private key and you have basically a password, protected password specifically for you. And you have all your information. And if you get hacked, then all your information is still there and no one can take it away. Mm-hmm. And so it's a bunch of computers that you can call blocks. And the chain is the information that is stored. And once you and I transact, it's chronological and it builds on each other. So it's one block attached to another block. So it's a chain of blocks. And that information is stored, and it has a date stamp, it's verified, and it's immutable. So you can't change it. And once you can't change something, then why do we need the system? So you and I want to buy your house today. You have money in the bank, and instead of going to a real estate agent, we can have a contractual agreement on the blockchain that exercises once we say that you have a digital signature, the money goes, and then the title comes to me if everything is on the blockchain.
And then everybody else that's in that blockchain knows about it too.
Yes. Let's say Bitcoin or any other blockchain out there. The information is, everybody has the information. It could be a private blockchain, it could be a public blockchain. If it's public, everyone has the information. So you can't hide anything. You know, if we talk about the systems inefficiencies, all the inefficiencies fly out the door with blockchain. And people say, oh, well, it's too early, this and that. But imagine that our life gets so simplified that we don't depend on anything. We don't need to pay commission to anybody. We don't realize how much there's all this derivative cost layered into everything, into this can, into recycling it, into everything.
So basically it takes out middlemen because it's decentralized.
Absolutely.
And then everybody's just kind of communicating that's in the blockchain. So there's two things really. There's cryptocurrency, which utilizes the vehicle of a blockchain, but blockchain technology in and of itself has many other applications outside of cryptocurrency.
So see, this is where the confusion comes, Patrick. People look at blockchain and they say, oh, it's just blockchain is one thing, crypto is another thing. So you need a vehicle, right? If you want to get something going, you need people to. We talked about how the information flows.
Right.
So in order for us to make sure that information goes everywhere, we need to have some miners.
Right.
Those miners, that blockchain has a currency. That currency pays people out.
Right.
Either by mining it or by making sure that information is correct and no one's playing with this information. And in this case, the vehicle here is the crypto. So the crypto is valuable. People think, oh, cryptocurrency is going to the roof, this and that. But don't think of it as a cryptocurrency. At the end of the day, if you want to use that blockchain and you think that blockchain has value, you need to have that cryptocurrency. Otherwise, it dies.
So the cryptocurrency is just the means of exchanging the value of the blockchain.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And so now, what is like if you're looking down the road and seeing how things are going, how do you think, I mean, you started to explain it, but do you think it's going to be a radical impact on our world, the whole blockchain phenomenon?
Absolutely. In every period of our lifetime, specifically now, the last 60, 70 years, the world is developing so quickly. Technology is changing the world. It's all about innovation. Like 15 years ago, could you have said that Facebook has any value?
Right. No.
Why is Facebook valuable today?
Because of the engagement.
Engagement and the information.
Right.
The world, you know, CNN the other day came up with some analysis. The wealth of information that is spreading, that free information you think you're signing up to, is about $300 billion.
Wow.
And that's information that you're giving away for free. And blockchain is here for you to decide who you give that information to. And the world is trending into a way where this intermediating all the inefficiencies in the system. If you want an efficient system, blockchain gets you there. Can you implement it as fast as you can? No, it needs adoption.
Right.
We need adoption. So I see it as any other technology. It's going to take 10 to 15 years for everybody to adopt it. But while you're doing this, look at every other investor or every other businessman who became a millionaire or billionaire in our world. And let's talk specifically about Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett, why is he so successful? And everyone thinks, oh, he has some magic potion. What he does is he looks at value in a company. If you think there's value in blockchain, and if you understand it well, and today we're talking about it, then think of it as a stock or as any portfolio of anything. Would you invest in it today if you know that in 20 or 30 years it will be worth billions. Just like if you put $1 or $1,000 in Berkshire Hathaway in 1975, it would be worth 88 million or something today. Think of it this way: if you think that the system is going to change the world, if you believe in the vehicle that is driving it, which is those cryptocurrencies, and you think there's value there, definitely you should invest in it, and it's going to disrupt the world.